Make sure he goes.
Okay. Okay. All right, good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here today. We got a full crowd today. So today we have Ali speaking about Artopia, which is an NFT marketplace platform here in St. Louis, Missouri. So excited to hear about what they're doing. So a little bit of updates with Crypto World. As you guys know, we do these events every week. Crypto over coffee every Tuesday mornings, and also Bitcoin over beer, third Thursday of every month. But we love doing these events, but to be able to help educate folks, and just to have a place where people can network and like-minded individuals can talk about different projects and ask questions. So glad that all of you are here. One of the projects we're working on is for Crypto World is hosted facilities. So if anybody's interested in hosting S19s, right now we have 40 spots available. It's in Kansas City, Missouri, and we're roughly about 8.5 cents per kilowatt hour. And the machines, you do have to purchase the machines. They're $5,500 for the S19 104Js, which most of you guys know, like December, we were selling them for $12,000 to $14,000. So I was just telling somebody that you're still getting 0.0004 Bitcoins every day from these machines. It's just the value of them has gone down. But if you still believe in Bitcoin and where it's going to be at in the future, it's going to go back, if not more. So now is the best time to get into it as far as in buying the equipment or hosting it, because the price of the miners came down with the price of Bitcoin. So we have that available. Also, next 2 weeks, we'll have a 3 megawatt facility available in Oklahoma. So we're working on that. So, with Crypto World, we built this to be able to educate folks and to be to be able to have these type of events. Our focus, as far as in keeping the store sustainable, is the hosting solution and the mining equipment sales, which is something we didn't know was going to be our core. We we opened the store not really knowing, because it's the first one in the U.S. But that's been the demand right now is mining and hosting solutions. But yeah, so I don't want to take away from Ali. So I want him to present what he's doing. Exciting project here locally. Last week we had Notoros.io, which is a great project too. We've also had Ave speak here. So Crypto World being the first crypto focused store in the world, focus on what we're doing, and also these projects. It's cool that St. Louis is doing some amazing things. So, but Ali, if you want to take the stage and talk about your project, and
Sure.
then we'll do Q&A. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff, and thank you, Crypto World, for hosting us here today. I have a quick presentation I'll show to everyone, and I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about who we are and what we do, and we'll just open it up for questions. So it'll be a lot shorter than last week. Let me just get that pulled up real quick. So I'm Ali, and our company is Artopia. We're a marketplace for crypto collectibles and NFTs. We launched 2 months ago on a closed beta on Rinkeby Test Network, and recently we also launched on Polygon Test Network as well. Our mission is to build and deliver an exceptional Web3 experience for all of our users. So what's the problem that we're trying to solve? NFT collectibles and NFT and crypto collectibles, have become very popular in the last 2 years. And with that growth, a number of bad actors and scammers have defrauded or pulled the rug from under a number of projects, leaving the communities that support these projects with a considerable financial loss, all while giving NFT technology a critical reputation amongst the general public. Now, in our opinion, this is a serious problem. It stifles innovation, and we believe that non-fungible tokens are the future of asset ownership and proving provenance. And that's why we started working on Artopia. Like I mentioned, Artopia is a marketplace for crypto collectibles and NFTs. Users can register for an account, create a collection, add items to their collection, and finally select their commission, and they can start selling. How do we make money? Artopia charges a 1.9% marketplace fee for every transaction that happens on Artopia. We charge this as a fee for facilitating the transaction on chain and for providing the marketplace infrastructure. Now, we recognize we have formidable competition in our sector, but we believe our competitors are hyper-focused on transaction volume. To the point, we certainly are focused on that as well, but our mission is to build and deliver an exceptional Web3 experience to our users that's focused on safety, interactivity, and community building. To wrap up my quick presentation about who we are, we're super early stage. I'm the founder and CEO. Matthew is my co-founding member. He just recently joined us, and he handles the community side as far as like growing our community and communicating with our community. And so we're super early stage. We're looking for intros to any kind of angels or early stage investors. So if you have any of those kind of introductions, we'd be more than happy with that. And, that was just a quick minute spiel about who we are. And I'd like to open the floor for questions just because this industry is brand new and I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions about this. So thank you.
Are you local?
Yes, St. Louis. St. Louis. Yep. That's where we're at. Me and Matthew are out of St. Louis. Yep.
So what platforms are you going to be supporting?
Great question. So we launched on Ethereum, Rinkeby, which is layer 1, and then we recently launched the Polygon L2 as well. And our mission is really to bring that interactivity from multiple blockchains, not just Polygon and Ethereum. We're working on the Solana solution and integrating BNB as well.
I'll ask, why not Cardano?
Oh, sure. No, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. Why not? And it's absolutely. We talk to our community, developers, creators, and people who usually are NFT users. They're looking for multi-chain option and bridging options because they don't want to be held down by these chains. So absolutely, we're totally up for that, 100%.
Are you guys, you said you're very early, is it open to, like, one of us could log on and make a transaction? Is it that far along, or is it
so
still
sure.
testers?
Well, I'd have to get you in. I have a production build. It's online. You can test it out anytime you want. If you're familiar with how to set up a MetaMask wallet or how to switch between chains, then you certainly can use the Polygon and the Rinkeby websites as well. So yeah, you certainly can. I'll connect with you and get you the website for sure.
So you mentioned you're not trying to just focus the broad market. Like, who's your target customer? Like, who would choose you over
Sure.
or whoever?
Great question. So one of the things we paid attention to is the creators, NFT creators. The problem I mentioned is there's a lot of scammers that come up with the industry in the beginning, and the people who are working really hard on their projects and they want to build a community, they're being affected by this macro effect, negative effect that happens when someone gets scammed. So we're really focused on them. How do we build solutions and tools for our creators to help them build community and maintain safety for their project? So creators were our first person that we went to, and then we focused on, obviously, the general population who uses NFTs as well.
Sure. I'm a newbie at this. So the creators, they create NFTs, and then they put it up on your website?
Yes.
Like advertise for sale?
Yeah, we have a marketplace infrastructure. So it's like eBay, right? You put your listing up there, and then someone just, if I like what you have up there, then I go and click buy and facilitate the transaction with MetaMask. So it's just like eBay or Amazon. You just put your listing, and then if the buyer buys, then you get paid.
And the transactions are happening in cryptocurrency?
Yes, in Ethereum. Only right now, yeah.
Okay. And are you getting it and passing it on, or is it going straight peer to peer?
That's a great question. So we have a multi-cent smart contract that sits in place that makes sure we get paid our infrastructure fee. So when you list your item and someone wants to buy it, we make sure our smart contract makes sure that we get our 1.9% fee sent to our wallet address. So we have a multi-cent contract put in place.
Can you talk a little bit about the security? We've all read about security with crypto, with NFTs and that kind of thing, where it's going, where it's at, how to secure our own, crypto and NFTs.
I think it's a general rule of thumb, especially with this brand new class of assets. You want to be as careful as you can. Obviously, with securing your keys physically offline or making a cold wallet. As far as like, I'm trying to answer your question in the general sense. For our marketplace, to answer that side of it, the beauty of this is that the best thing we can do is continuously audit our smart contract, because we're not actually going to hold any of your assets. We're not going to hold any of your money. We're just facilitating the transaction, and we're just making our fee along that way. As far as like in general, it's a rule of thumb. You want to keep your key phrases, everything that holds your asset completely secure, backed up preferably, and then let no one see it or have access to it, especially. So I don't have honestly like a genie ball that can tell me what the future can look like, but that's honestly the best answer I can give as of right now.
So how do you know that NFT actually is delivered from this creator to a buyer?
Great question. So the transaction actually fails if all parties, there's an issue within the transaction. So if the parties are not receiving their asset, or someone doesn't have enough money in their wallet, or the contract fails mid-transaction, then the entire transaction falls apart and no one loses their money.
Now, do you have storage that people could use to, if you're a creator and you want to create a bunch of NFTs,
Sure.
are you storing them on your servers with your smart contract and whatnot?
We use our RPC providers like Infura that does the IPFS storage for us. We just hold some of this stuff locally on our servers, just like their string on the name, basically their display name, and there might be their profile pictures, the only thing we save in our database. But everything else is facilitated through Infura with their RPC.
What creators do you have using this?
It's a small number. We don't have anyone big yet. We're still super early stage. It's some creators out of St. Louis. We have 10 creators, 10 users, and then we have 10 developers using it. For
All local at the moment?
Yes, all local. We haven't reached out to anyone. Like I mentioned, Matthew just recently joined us. He's going to help us build our community side of this to reach out to other developers, creators, and users. So, but they're local. Yes, local.
Are you doing mostly just artists, or are you getting into? I know the big thing is like athletes that can now
Sure.
Generate revenue from their own image. Is that an opportunity for you guys?
Absolutely. So we're not really restricted only to art, and I'll show everyone a quick demo of our website after we're done. We can service pretty much sports, trading cards, exclusive membership, DAO NFTs. Anything that can be tokenized, ultimately, like that's what the question is. If you can tokenize it, our infrastructure will tokenize your thing for you, and then you can either resell it on the market or have it as an access token to certain things. So we certainly can service the sports industry. Absolutely.
Yeah, because the same with NFTs. The main thing is the owner of that or the creator can get residual revenue if it becomes something that's sold.
Absolutely. So when you create an item, like I mentioned, you select your commission, you can start selling, say, 4 or 5, even a year late, 4 or 5 months, a year later, someone buys it, you're still going to get paid your commission that you set on that item, because when our infrastructure generates a smart contract for your listing or your collection every time someone lists. So it makes sure it's stored on chain and make sure that everybody's paid when that sale is made. So,
is there a cap on the residual? Is there like a 10% cap?
Well, we don't sit in the middle and decide, but we make recommendations. You shouldn't set like a crazy commission. We recommend 10% is honestly the highest I've seen is 20%, and that doesn't usually yield in a lot of sales because people see that they have to pay so much fees. So 10% really is the industry standard. So.
Yeah, for us, we've had restaurants asking, like franchises asking, some sort of NFT, right? That somebody here in St. Louis could go to I think it was Mel Mushroom who asked this, right? In St. Peter's, that they can create NFT specifically for that, and in a different location, somebody could get an NFT for. You know what I mean? So they were asking about
100%. I think this is like one of the true potential of like non-fungible tokens is how do we bring real world assets or real world experiences, and we can digitize them and bridge the two worlds together. So one of the publishers in St. Louis runs a small publication, visible at Fourth Estate. Paul, I don't know if you ever talked to him before. What he does is he sells NFTs as part of his subscription model, right? So buy an NFT from his marketplace, then get a year access to his publication, right? So it's trying to tie real world perks with these digital items, and how do you bridge those two worlds together? It's a huge industry. I can totally see restaurants doing this and giving it as a promotion. If you hold this NFT, you'll get free salsa for life or something, right? It's something like that anyone can work through. So absolutely.
Well, the owners were looking to generate basically something where it's community driven, right? So they would create an NFT that it'd be specific to that location. And then maybe a different location would have their own specifics. So somebody that loves Mellow Mushroom may want to collect all of the NFTs from all the locations. So then it becomes tradable, right? Like, oh, I can't go to the one in Ohio, but I'll buy that NFT, so I have the whole set. So things like that, or like what Ali was saying, you have these, if you have all the NFTs for Mellow Mushroom, then you get a free appetizer. So that way it becomes community driven, where they're incentivized for coming back and participating. So I can see restaurants, it's a big industry for NFTs, restaurants. We even thought about on the sports side. Like, my kids are big into sports, right? So having something here where for $20 you can NFT your child in their baseball outfit or whatever. It may not be worth anything, but if they get drafted in Major League Baseball, right? That's very rare. Somebody's gonna want to pay for that, even in college, because now college athletes can generate revenue from their image. It could be something where they generate revenue from their NFT being traded, because now they're worth something. So different things like that. I think the main thing with NFT is it's transparent. It's also immutable, so you can't go back and create a different one, right? And say, oh, I have this other NFT for one, or whatever. My question now too is security side.
Sure.
Like if crypto world was looking to create NFTs, is that because of security? Because we're raising funds to be able to.
That's a great question. I think this is something you want to talk to your lawyer about, because it's an offering, right? Because you did classify it as an offering, right? So if you're saying it's a collection, more of like a creative aspect, then that's up for interpretation and speculation. But I honestly don't know. They're talking right now up in DC about our future, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, we don't know what kind of regulation is going to come down on us, tomorrow. If they classify NFTs as a security, then we have to entirely restructure our business model, how we go about this, and it becomes more of an enterprise product than a consumer product, because consumers usually don't have access to being $1 million worth plus in net worth to be certified as an investor. You can certainly be a retail investor, but that's really risky. Most people end up losing their money on that side. So as far as I think if you word it differently, because everything at the end of the day is up for interpretation. So if you word it differently than security, I think you would be fine. But
yeah, but there's some great projects I heard about, especially in Africa, like kids in school are now NFT. They're NFTing the kids' schoolwork from kindergarten all the way to like college or whatever. But
sure,
I guess the main issue in Africa is a lot of record keepings are lost, so kids are moved around a lot. So teachers don't know the strengths and weaknesses of individual kids. So if it's on an NFT platform where they can just go to it and see like, oh yeah, John Doe, you're really great at that. So they don't have to go back and try to figure out like what's your strength, what's your weakness. So it's following the kids all the way from youth all the way to college. So I think that's pretty cool use of this technology, and also for I can see universities now NFTing diplomas. Or,
Sure.
you know, if I hired somebody here and they said they went to WashU, well, I'm not gonna go spend money to try to make sure and validate that information is true. But if WashU had an NFT platform where I can just go to it, verify that, you know, Ali went to WashU like he said, it's something that can't be
I get it.
hacked, can't be changed. And so I can see universities also like, you know, Six Sigma or certifications. And that's something that I definitely see, that now you can put on LinkedIn, like, hey, I'm Six Sigma certified. Well, how do we know? Well, here's the blockchain, right? That
Absolutely.
proves that I actually did that. So I
Absolutely.
definitely see the future of NFTs. I know the industries kind of, because of what's going on and the scams and the rug pulls and things like that. But the technology behind it, I think it's huge. It's going to be pretty big.
I completely agree with you. I think if most of us look past like the flashes, which is pictures being sold for thousands of dollars, millions, there's a beauty to this technology. It has properties that apply to us in the real world that we're looking for, like you mentioned, like immutability, and not being able to hack it or destroy it or change it. It opens the door to other industries that can, you know, be modernized with this technology. Real estate is one of the biggest ones. We're looking at like the largest world assets, and their debt, real estate, commercial paper, and they're really illiquid. There isn't a marketplace for them to be traded properly or opportunities to be made of. So these industries are ripe for change, especially in the real estate and the debt industry. And there's protocols out there like Nexus Mutual. They're out of London. They're out of England. They're doing decentralized health insurance, which is very interesting. They cut around, I think about 40% of the cost, like right off the bat, using smart contracts, and they claim to cut an extra 18% on cost from their day-to-day operation. So they end up giving you a very, very affordable rate when it comes to health insurance. And this is again using the power of blockchain. So I think this technology has a lot of potential to revolutionize a lot of new industries. So
with the announcements just or comments yesterday or the day before, sometime within the last week by Gary Gensler about considering, you know, potentially things being actual securities. I guess I'm talking about Ethereum a little more specifically.
Sure.
How would that affect you guys and what you're doing if that were to be labeled a security?
So if you're referring to Ethereum, it wouldn't affect us as much because we don't have a treasury. We don't hold any kind of big amounts of Ethereum. We're just infrastructure put in place to facilitate transactions. So it really wouldn't affect us as much. If the SEC comes out and says, hey, NFTs are a security offering, then we would have to restructure our infrastructure entirely. It would affect people who are buying Ethereum every day, right? So I think at Coinbase and every provider, like desk provider, they have a cap on like how much you can buy with your card and how much you can buy with your ACH with your bank account. And as soon as this kind of regulation comes down, then I'm 100% sure it's gonna be even way higher. Right now, it's $700 to buy with your debit card on Coinbase, and if regulation comes down, I can totally see it being capped at $100. And then you're having to sit there every day, every 24 hours. You can only spend $100 on buying Ethereum. That's gonna affect a lot of people who like to buy in big volumes. So, but I'm sure if they have that much money, they'll get a lawyer and they'll get it figured out. Sure. Yeah.
Your credit.
Well, if no one has any other questions, I wanted to just show you our site really quickly, just run you through a quick demo, show you what we've been building, and then thank you everyone for your time. Great. All right. I did not anticipate for the website to be shown on a 65+ inch screen. Okay, so it's definitely out of proportion. So this is our landing page, and you pretty much just get to a landing page. We have like a scrolling carousel. It has like 4 cards on it right now. Each card pretty much represents like a door to get into like one of these apps. So right here, this is something I didn't talk about. We're still working on it, and we gave it a stupid name. But right here is the Polygon Marketplace. So let's go back. Let's click Enter that. So this loads. This is just the production build. I built it yesterday to put it up here. So this is production build. It's pretty much, Web3 experience. You connect with MetaMask. Actually don't have it installed. I'm not prepared. You connect with MetaMask, and then you create a profile. You can explore stats, thereby past transactions that happened on the marketplace. You can explore the marketplace listings itself. And then we have some resources here, like our blog. One of the other apps we developed is NFT generator. Right now, if you're a developer, creator, you have to download something like a server to run on your computer to build these files. What we did is pretty much automate that process and made it a no-code approach. You just go to our website, you upload your items, and then you click generate, and it just does the work for you. Let's go over here, and this is a listing. It shows us who is owned by. This is our owner name. Obviously, it's like a generated name. Our price in Matic, you can click buy, and then people down here can make offers to you. So if you list something for 1 polygon and someone says it's actually worth 0.7 polygon, then I'm going to make you an offer of 0.7 polygon, and it's up to me to accept it or not.
Is there an auction format on this?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can list it either as a like a set price or as a auction.
You know, a time frame on that?
You as the creator, you get to choose that. Like how long you should keep that open for. The offers are being made to you. They don't expire usually. They just stay on the listing until someone either buys it, accepts your offer, or you decline the offer. So, so this is listing, and then each. I want to make sure that and then each transaction links to the scanner, so you can look at the block explorer and make sure that everything's working properly. That was the Polygon marketplace, and then we had our Ethereum marketplace is just a parallel version of it. It's exactly the same, being run on a different chain, which is the Ethereum Reckoning. So it's the same kind of experience. We didn't want to sway from making it confusing for people when they use our product. It's the same exact experience. It's just using a different coin. And the one thing I didn't mention is this WNS, and it's just a stupid name we picked. Like Woke Labs is the company, like that's our startup. We call it Woke Labs. And this is pretty much like, who has an ENS name here? Anybody use ENS like .eth domain names? No. So ENS is like Ethereum name service, and this is like a Polygon name service. It's the same exact thing as like getting a website from ENS. Of course, for the exception is that we are not ENS. We don't have the propagation infrastructure set in place, because ENS talks to a MetaMask and they talk to Infura and tell them that, hey, Ali just bought this domain. Make sure to update his wallet address with this domain name on every website that you're connected to. We don't have that capability yet, and hopefully we can work towards that. But this is kind of the same thing, and it's just a demo that we have. You can mint domain names, and then if we manage to add the utility, then you certainly can link websites to these names as well, just like a regular domain name service. So thanks everyone. Sorry, it's all over the place. Let me get back over here. Thank you everyone. Thanks everyone at Crypto World. Thank you, Jeff, for hosting me. And if you have any other questions, yeah, sure.
I do. What are your thoughts, or how are you guys going to be approaching
engaging people to use your service?
Sure, great question. So one of the things that we're really focused on our community building is 3 aspects. One of them is in-person events, so hosting like we want to get to the point to host like a hackathon or maybe a smaller version of that to draw developers and people who are building on these platforms. Other thing is focusing on online communities, so building communities on Discord, on Clubhouse, on Twitter, on Twitch to get in contact with our users, because these are the people who are using our services most of the time. And then the third thing is really working really hard to push the envelope on technology and seeing if we can integrate new solutions. And if we can do that, I believe we can attract a lot of developers and people who are interested in this industry. So, yeah.
What is your background? Are you technology based then?
I'm self-taught. I was in real estate before COVID happened, and they fired everyone at the company. And so I sat down and I just pretty much watched YouTube, got on Stack Overflow for 3 months, and I started building. So yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at Missouri Western State University. Yeah.
Can you say again, like, is there anybody doing something similar to what you guys are doing? Is there...
So we have competition, obviously, OpenSea, Rarible, and Magic Eden. Those are the giants in this industry. They're very focused on executing the transaction because that's how they make their commission. To answer your question, I don't think so. I don't believe that anyone else is really trying to tackle the problem we are in building this overall experience, not just the transaction side. I don't think so. I'm sure other people are trying to do this. And the other question I get is, these big companies, what makes you think you're going to do it? My answer always is when you're big and you're running, it's hard to stop and look at what's around you and trying to catch up with like what's the newest trend. Because if your wheel is spinning really well, you're not going to stop it. You're just going to continue to grow and build on what you have. That's why we're not really worried about like the big guys, because they don't know who we are yet, and they don't see like the infrastructure of what we're building. And we think that's a competitive advantage that we have. So,
what type of raise are you looking for you said you're looking for VCs?
Yeah, we're looking to raise about anywhere between $250,000 to $500,000 for a pre-seed and help build out the team with that. So we already have the infrastructure set in place. I think we're in a really good, unique position because we have a product that's working. We're not really in ideation stage. We're not approaching investors and say, will you cut me a check to find out if this thing's going to work or not? We actually have something that works and it's in place. So.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to collaborate on how we can, with Crypto World,
sure,
to be able to get, like athletes, right, that can come in here, or restaurants that can come in here. If they want to do an NFT of something. NFT, they're like I said, the high school kids or college kids. But if we can make it simpler, like easier for them,
sure.
I think if we can collaborate on that, that would be a good, at least,
absolutely
way to get the folks that are crypto curious, NFT curious, just dabbling in it. So, and we're all about trying to get mass adoption in this space. So absolutely. If we can do that with Crypto World as we open more locations, I think it's a win for us.
Absolutely. I look forward to working with you. Absolutely. We can definitely have a conversation about that for sure. Well, great. Thank you, everyone. Again, thanks for coming out, listening to me about my spiel. So thank you.
Thank you. Questions? You got it, man. Hey, thanks for talking.
Absolutely.
You should look at Cardano has a. You mentioned you're interested in it. They have a project